They gon' shoot. Your bitch a fan and she root for me. Off top, I'm a pioneer. Niggas got excuses for everything, I ain't tryna hear. Dripped in designer gear, walk through your bitch crib. Drunk with the robe on, fuck her on the flight of stairs. I invest like Nip with the crypto or Jay with the title shares. I don't think this fight is fair. Trapped on the block, got shot for I could buy a bear. You move cane, I move with the cane, nigga, I don't care. Maker's mark, straight from the bottle, no whiskey stones. Your bitch suck dick, spit faster than Busy Bone. Piff cologne, I got a different phone with my bitch alone. Three-headed dragon, Cannon, Richie, and Blick of Dawn. When the lights come out, niggas move funny. I don't get my hands dirty, they gon' shoot for me. Your bitch a fan and she root for me. Alex Haley to the roots,
She a fox like Vivica, but the pussy is normal. But if it's right, I hit like Tyson and talk to a formal. But I'm conceited, get with me, let my aura adorn you. I just need some sloppy top like that shit in the porno. Bro, the Zaza, a nigga ha-ha. See a op and pop the bye-bye, then tell him bye-bye. Pray to Jesus, Buddha, Allah, it won't do nada. Get your posse showered by rock stars, a lot of pasta. Block eye, you know it's felt. When I hear it, run it back like Hester. Sending peas on autopilot in the back of a Tesla. I hate how niggas think rolling up, make them rap a little better. All them yes men should probably say you whack all together. And this is light work, I do this in the night's work. Luckily for my first few ops, they wanted to fight first. I can tell you stories that got gory over dice work with knife work. Think it sucks now, I'll make life worse for real.
Richie, fuck the laws, I'm demanding respect. It's the kid known for balls like your Zanny Connect. I'm with the smoke, I don't care what they rap. Word of advice, a nigga way too nice. You better prep for your prep or prep for your death. They saying Richie back, I ain't never left. Just let my nigga shine, we both the man like Red and Matt. See the way these niggas be traveling, they got awkward steps. James Harden, never take what's right, a nigga going left. About shit, Richie is different, this ain't no clout shit. Real nigga, and you can ask the niggas I fell out with. They coming in disguise, I fire, cause we don't doubt shit. Keep an arm, catch him sliding home, and throw him out quick. A nigga fire like Cannon and Blick, and Killer Mo, try and figure out which one I should grip. MBK dog, we fucking legit. If you ain't feeling how I'm feeling, you can suck on a motherfucker.
Such a good intro song. Yo. Welcome back to another episode of the Cypher. We've been at this for 51 episodes now. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us over that time. As always, I'm joined by my guys Sheridan Crane and Anthony Kannon. But this week, we are joined by a special guest, none other than the man himself. Jake Daniels is back for yet another episode. Jake, how you doing?
I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well. Just living life, you know what I'm saying?
Happy to hear it, bro.
Just living life, topping charts, you feel me? No big deal.
Hey, man, that's what we do over here, you know what I mean?
That's a fact. Happy to hear it, bro. Happy to hear you're doing well. Aunt Sheridan, how you guys doing?
Man, it's been a crazy week, you know, just trying to make some music. Happy to be here with y'all. Smoke some bud, then bumping this MBK Richie album. Whole lot of fucking smoke.
Hell yeah.
Whole lot of fucking smoke.
I've been bumping the album OD, like that's kind of what I've been doing a lot over the last weekend.
It was your birthday last week, right, bro? It's been your birthday since the last episode, so happy birthday, you know.
I did have my birthday. I got to go skating, which is something that actually has been going on in San Francisco every Friday for it's like 70 something years. People have been meeting every Friday at the pier of San Francisco to skate 12 miles around the city and to a loop all the way back to the same spot.
You ain't skate 12 miles.
Yeah, I couldn't run 12 miles. Skating 12 miles it's not easy, but like it's easier than you would think. You know what I mean? The hard part is like the hills.
Did you do it though? Did you finish it? You completed the 12 miles.
I probably did 16 that whole day because.
Oh, he's flexing on it.
He's saying,
I did 16.
Well, you do the 16.
It takes a mile to skate there. It's a mile to skate there. It's a mile to skate back from my apartment, like the part where everyone meets. And then I also went skating in the morning because I didn't originally plan to go that night. So I had already done 3 or 4 miles. So
He's a pro skater now. He's
Yeah,
a pro skater
what
now.
are we getting now? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sheridan the skater, Sheridan the singer, Sheridan
Yeah,
the rapper.
this
What
is
are we
crazy.
getting next, bro? What are we getting next?
The bag of tricks, you feel me? Yo, Blix had stopped being a Mitch Sheridan and fly to Vegas next week.
Oh,
There we go. There we go. Or skate, you know, you're good with the skates. It sounds like pull up.
Skate.
Pull up to Vegas.
You got no excuse now. You said you got the blades on deck.
We got some real interesting topics to cover this week. We got some real good stuff to talk about. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about some of the new local music that has dropped. Jakos dropped a new track with JJ Wolf called Been Away. Sharax dropped a couple of tracks. One is a Track Stars remix titled Track Runner. The other one called Steppers Over Reppers. T Mako dropped a new track titled March Madness. Don Pablo dropped a new track titled Sticky. We got a couple new projects out of Upstate. Levi dropped a new project titled The Never Ending Story, Billboard's Most Underrated. We'll be playing a track after that, or on that later on. And then, of course, we played a track off of MBK Richie's latest project, Divine. If you haven't heard that yet, I don't know why you're sleeping. Everyone in Upstate been supporting that project, it seems like, so you might as well get out and support it as well. What did you guys think of that project? We've had a chance to speak to Richie last week. Jake, you got a chance to listen to it, right? What'd you think?
Oh, bro. I thought it was like probably one of the best projects I've listened to out of Upstate. Actually, out of like hip hop period, really. And I would say there was like one track. I'm not gonna expose the track, but there was one track where I was like skip. But I think it was mainly due to the feature. So I'm not even going to say which one. But the whole rest of the project.
Why not?
Wait,
why won't you say which one?
Because I don't want to. I don't even want to give it the whole thing. But the whole rest of the project was crazy, bro. Like, absolutely crazy. I think I said it online. I think he's one of the top Upstate artists, like, period. I think he's top 3. So.
It's great. It's great to see him getting some shine off of this one too. What were you about to say, Ant?
I was just about to say, when it comes to consistency or content or just pure structure and impact, like Richie, you're never gonna have a Richie project without those. And I think this project did a good job of introducing almost a couple new styles of Richie. I can't even say new actually, but expanding on some sounds that we've heard him do previously. I thought it had way more different styles than I anticipated being on this project.
He showcased some versatility for sure.
Exactly. When I made a lot of Smoke with Blick and Richie, we listened to 2 songs in the studio off of Divine. So we heard a lot of Smoke, and we heard the one with the cream sample. You feel me? And so you base it off of those 2. I thought we were gonna get a throwback rap project. But he delved into so many different bags on this that it was kind of refreshing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sheridan?
I thought the pacing was really cool. I felt like he kind of started out with some, tracks that I felt like I had heard similar vibes before in commercial settings. I felt like it was the type of album immediately listening to it that I could like show to my friends and they wouldn't like immediately be like, oh, this is a local guy.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact.
That's I feel like that's one thing, like sometimes when I show my friends other local artists, I have to like kind of give that like
preface it.
Be like, hey, this guy's obviously a local guy, but like there's some potential here. I know you guys will hear it. With Richie, I don't have to say that. It's like, this guy is a pro. Like, he might be a local guy, but he's a pro.
Mm-hmm.
And I
you
think,
wouldn't know it unless you know it. And I feel like, honestly, I think at one point I was playing Richie, and this was a while back prior to this project, but I was playing him and my girl was like, oh, that's a local artist. Like, it was one of those moments of, because he definitely doesn't have that type of, like, there's a sound about him that sounds very professional. So I really enjoy what Richie does, and I think that this is great to see this project doing so well. The reception has been great. Did really well with people purchasing it on iTunes, so you love to see that. Like that, it's dope to see, especially this year so far, how many artists locally have been able to do well with selling some type of a part of their project that they've put out. A lot of other younger artists should learn from this. They should recognize it might not be attainable right away. You might not be able to drop something your first couple years like this, but you guys have put in the work now. And it's funny, it's all three of you from that track, A Lot of Smoke. You, Richie, and Blick have done very well for yourselves in selling your projects this year.
Nah, absolutely. Yeah. And Rich and Blick are both kind of like OGs in this scene. You feel me? I was a fan of Blick 5-6 years ago. You feel me? Kelsey put me on to Richie 4 years ago. So these are dudes that have been solidified. You know, they've been rapping for a decade and pursuing it actively. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't surprise me that they're selling a product, going about it the right way. You feel me? And
they have a fan base willing to buy it. You know what I mean? Like, don't give. That's a big point I'm trying to make. Don't give up on yourself if you're a younger artist who thinks like, man, I'm not getting any traction after 2 years or 3 years of doing this. Like, put in that time and it'll come, because look what happens with you guys who have, like you said, they put in many, many years into this, and this is what comes from it. So you love to see it. Like I said, the project from Richie is great. If you haven't checked it out, you really should check it out. You're sleeping. It's a great project. So
facts.
Let's talk a little bit. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say one thing. You look at lyricists in hip hop. A lot of them come up later.
And they're
later 20s, in their 30s, some mid 30s, even later 30s. We've seen it happen. So I just want to say, like, definitely don't feel like because you're 30 and that you're too old. Like, I know a lot of people are like, hey, it's 30, you didn't make it, hang it up. But like, I don't think that's necessarily true.
Nah,
I agree with Sheridan on that completely.
I feel like the game has changed with that. You know what I mean?
So I just needed a picture with Kiss, and that's when they wanted to buy it.
You got it. It's a fact.
That's funny. But not to stay on this, but it's crazy. He drops the video with him co-signing Kiss. It gets like 100 shares in 30 minutes, but somebody drops a music video and it's almost impossible to get somebody to click it. It's ridiculous, but that is a beautiful thing, bro. And now that you're tuned in, props to you for that.
Yeah,
that must have been an amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
It's like saying,
my bad. I was just gonna say, what I thought was so cool was when he posted, he was like, all right, everybody go buy the single. And then I saw mad comments just like, nah, bro, we bought the project. Like, forget the single. We're buying the whole project. You know what I mean? And that was like a beautiful thing to see as an artist, because it just solidifies that, like, bro, like, people are out here ready to ride for you. Mm-hmm. You just have to ask. Mm-hmm. That's literally it. Like, you just have to ask and they will do it. You know, if your music is good. If your music's trash, ain't nobody
gonna have to work on it a little bit.
Like, yo, there's dudes riding out here for trash every day. Every day.
Say that.
There's people out. I don't think that you need to be crazy solidified or even have amazing music to sell something. You just don't want to sell something that's not great. You don't want to charge for something. You want to have returning customers. But there are people that will support you no matter what, and they support you as an artist, a person, whatever. They will put money in your pocket.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's a fact. So again, shout out to Richie. We're glad to see that doing so well. And just one more time, if you haven't, go check out Divine. It's on all streaming services now. You can purchase it on iTunes. So go do that. Let's talk about some of the mainstream music. I want to, if you're tuned in with us, drop what you've been tuned into in the comments. So that way we don't miss any of the new music that's come out. But in terms of stuff I got, there hasn't been a lot of new music that came out this week. But Sheridan's girl, Taylor Swift, re-released some old music, which I don't really care so much about the music she released. I'm just curious what you guys think about re-releasing music to now have her own her masters or whatever. She added a couple new songs on there, I think. So it's an interesting concept, I guess, especially when you're on that level of superstardom.
It's revolutionary, I think. I think it's gonna start a wave of people who do that, because they're gonna see how successful she is with it, and whether they'll be able to be as successful as she is with it. I think people will notice and take a shot at it, because there are a lot of artists who are in a similar situation to Taylor, where they were young, coming up, signed a deal that they did not realize was going to do them like it's doing them, and now that they're much bigger, they're like, hey, fuck this, I'm not gonna deal with this, and they're gonna follow Taylor's lead. I think. I think.
Yeah.
It was,
I mean, you're right. Just because somebody can't replicate Taylor Swift's success in something doesn't mean it still won't benefit them if they do it at a minor scale. You feel me?
yeah, I just relative. I meant relative success.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Blick said it's like dropping deluxe albums.
In my opinion, like I think for her it's brilliant because like, I've seen so many like people that I follow, just like friends and stuff that I follow that are like, into her music. They're all about it, dude. Like they're posting like, I remember how this made me feel about this boy, and I remember how this made me feel, and da. So in my opinion, I'm like, okay, well they get to relive those experiences, whether they were good or bad, and they get to still support one of their favorite artists. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's beautiful, bro. I think it's beautiful.
Just like listening to it like a lot, and so like I know like a lot, and like a lot of her, especially even younger fans than my sister, are probably bumping that with D. I haven't even listened to it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sheridan hasn't gotten all the way locked in on that one yet, but he will.
Sheridan is the only person I know that like admittedly listens to Taylor Swift. I don't know how she does all these numbers because you're still like the only person I know that listens to her, as phenomenal of an artist as she is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I be bumping.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely bump Taylor Swift sometimes, but
that's two.
But it's probably alone in the car with like none of my friends.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's how it goes. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna pull up this clip in like 5 years when you're famous, and they're gonna be like, Jake Daniels is a Taylor Swift stan.
Probably, bro. Probably.
I didn't really see a whole lot other music that I really feel like is worth talking about that came out, but there was a new Brockhampton album, I believe, a new Polo G single. I don't know if you guys tuned into anything that came out. I do like the Polo G single a lot, but it's not really worth going into deep discussion about.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I checked it. I wasn't really like, it was like,
I thought it was good, just nothing like groundbreaking.
Exactly.
It's not gonna like blow any like numbers, I don't think.
Yeah, and as far as Brockhampton goes, bro, I'm off Brockhampton, but that's just me. Like,
really?
Dude, I'm not with it. I'm not with Brockhampton, bro. I just can't get down, dude. I can't.
Were you because of the music or stuff outside of the music?
It's more towards the music, bro. I just feel like his music has decreased personally for me. That's just my own personal opinion. But like, I feel like his music has just decreased.
Their music, I haven't. When they first came out the gate, they had a couple bangers that I fucked with, and when they dropped like the 3 projects in 1 year or whatever the fuck that was, they had a lot of good shit. I haven't been following them the same way that I will though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Their new album, I mean, I definitely don't. I think they definitely lost some charm when they got rid of Amir, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't say charm is the word. It's like when you get rid of somebody for what he was accused of.
It is kind of the word, though. Like, as much as like that shouldn't be the word, like that he was kind of like when they dropped those 3 albums, he was the face of those 3 albums. You know, he had the very primary. I just think that, you know, I liked some of the songs on the album. I thought there were some actually really, really good songs that were some of their best songs I've heard. But then there was a lot of the album that I just like especially even just the singles I thought were just the production wasn't like blowing me away as much as it has in the past. And I mean, in general, it's an album that I'm gonna continue to listen to a little bit. But it's definitely not hitting me like some of the earlier albums really did. Even like their last album, what was it, Sugar, or Ginger.
Have you guys heard it, Jamed or Jamed or whatever his name is?
No, I don't think so.
I typed the name out. I don't know how to pronounce it personally, but he dropped a really dope album in March, and ESTG dropped a fire project I think in March or February. Those are two things that I've been bumping this week, actually.
I've been bumping some crazy weird music, man. Like I'm on some other stuff for sure. But I don't know if you guys have heard of like Royal and the Serpent. It's like it's a girl. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't.
Sounds like a Disney movie.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, it's like hardcore like alt music. It's like really, really strange, but I dig it. And then also there's this girl that I've been listening to. Her name is like YAS, like yes. But she's kind of low key. She's only got 152K monthly listeners, but like, bro, her music is incredible. And she's played strings for like Lil Nas X on his songs. She's played like Justin Bieber songs. Like she's played like cello parts, I guess, for all these people. So
That's
it's like,
dope.
I don't know. I've been listening to her.
I've been listening to a couple different albums. I've been listening to Lake Street Dive.
Yo, what?
Yeah, like
You fuck with Lake Street Dive?
Yeah,
My dad is really cool with the Lake Street Dive.
Well,
really?
dope.
Yeah, he knew them before they blew up. And like when I was younger, he would tell me like, "Yo, this band is gonna make it."
Yo, what?
I've known about them since I was in like 9th grade. Kind of been a fan since then. But like their newest album, I've been in like more into than like anything else they put out. It's been like regular rotation every day type shit.
They perform in Ithaca like
Facts.
almost like semi-annually.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend Kennedy used to go see them.
Amazing.
That's dope.
Shout out Josh for that Arm & Hammer, because Jesus Christ, they were dropping some ridiculous music. Ridiculous.
Facts. Well, all right. The next topic is a little bit. I mean, this sucks that we even have to talk about this. The same, almost. I feel like we've been covering a lot of the same shit like a year later. After we covered the same type of stuff a year ago. But Daunte Wright, 20-year-old black father, was pulled over. He had apparently air fresheners on his mirror while he was being questioned. Was found to have a warrant out for his arrest. He attempted to flee. He was then shot by a police officer who allegedly meant to grab her taser. He drove away shortly thereafter and later crashed and was pronounced dead. It is so shitty that we just have to have these type of conversations so consistently. This one being of such a young father. Like there's so many different like things of this one that's just fucked up. But we have to talk about it. I feel like we did a good job at covering this type of stuff last year. I feel like we can't just overlook it because we've already covered this type of stuff. So,
of course, I mean, it's not like we're the Joe Budden's podcast or
Right.
Drink Champs. You feel me? We don't have millions of people, but we are a hip hop podcast, and social reform, community activism, that's always going to be a part of hip hop. What happened is absolutely, I couldn't even believe it when I read this shit. There's really nothing you can say except prayers out to his family. The cop resigned, the police chief resigned. That's obviously not enough. She needs to be charged. Joe Biden came out and said it's not an excuse for looting, which what else can you do? You feel me? There are other means to getting your message across, but when you have something like that happen in Minnesota, very close to where George Floyd happened, I read something that George Floyd's ex-wife was the victim's old teacher. That's how small of a community this is. You feel me? Like George Floyd had a connection with this other victim in a way that neither of them even knew. That's how small. And imagine how ridiculously angry that community is. Just imagine. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an awful situation. They're 26 years on the job. There's no excuse to mistake your taser for a gun.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, bro, that we have to keep even having this conversation like over and over and over. And I mean, I'm in one way, I'm like, okay, well, at least we can talk about it now. But at the same time, bro, it's like, come on, like, when are we gonna be like, okay, like, stop making mistakes? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't even know if it was a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
That could easily just be
just like crazy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't know if it was a mistake, but to be honest, intent doesn't even matter at this point because somebody died. You feel me? Like,
100%.
You fucked up, and you shouldn't have people making life or death decisions that aren't capable of making life or death decisions. You feel me? And she shot him, or how many times she shot him. But running from the cops, no matter what, he has a warrant for his arrest. I don't care if it's for unpaid tickets, which I'm pretty sure his warrant was for unpaid tickets, or if he just robbed a gas station. Running from is a victimless crime. If you're not actively hurting somebody, if you're not endangering somebody, there's no reason your life should be at the cost of that. And most of
and the reason he got pulled over even is just so fucking ridiculous. Like an air freshener in your window. Yeah. I've literally been pulled over for that. Like, but I've also had so many conversations with people who I know who are like, really you can get pulled over for that? Like, and it's like such a ridiculous thing, because that doesn't seem to be a consistent law outside of, oh, we want to pull this person over, here's a bullshit reason to do so. Like because I don't know, exactly. among other things of this, that's one that has just really sat with me through this. Is like, of all the reasons to get pulled over is some shit like that, and to lose your life.
I saw.
To lose your life, bro. That's like, are you kidding?
Some people would say that race and gender and what I'm about to bring up is irrelevant, but I'm gonna say it for the sake of the point. This white female that I went to high school with, she's 23 years old. She's my age. I'm not gonna put her name out there or anything, but she posted on Facebook the day it happened and was like, "This week I got pulled over for an air freshener, and the cop didn't even give me a ticket, just let me go on my merry way." Type shit, blah, blah, blah. Granted, she doesn't have any warrants. She doesn't have this or that. But the contrast, when you can directly put yourself in a situation in somebody else's shoes and see how it doesn't always play out how it would in your mind, that's when learning can happen. People have to realize the situation that he was in and how dangerous shit like this, meaningless shit, can be for somebody in his shoes. It's awful.
Yeah, for real though.
Yeah, it's definitely just something that's tragic. It's unfortunate. It's like, and how often will we have to continue to have conversations like this? When will we see some type of legitimate reform where this isn't a yearly conversation, like where people are? Because there was also another incident similar to this where I want to say he was like someone in the army was ripped out of his truck for like
pepper spray.
Yeah, pepper spray. I don't know if you guys saw that as well. So it's like, he fortunately didn't lose his life, but when I heard him talk about he was afraid to get out of the car, afraid to unbuckle his seatbelt. As a minority, I can relate to that, especially when you see stories like this that then come out of like that I can relate to. Of, oh, I've been pulled over for having an air freshener in my car. I've had to pay tickets for having marijuana the same way this kid had. I think what I read is that the ticket didn't get sent to the right address, so it didn't get paid or some shit. Like matters that are so simple. And then you're 20 years old, so you're afraid and you just want to get out of there. Exactly. Being 20 years old is the thing that's also not lost on me. Like, yeah, when you're 20, you feel like you've got it all figured out. But being 26 and looking back on when I was 20 and how I would handle the police, it's probably very different. So it's like, it's just so 100%. Fucked up. And
I really want to know what the argument now is for the people who support the police that probably also support the military. Is it back to blue?
No, I saw somebody trying to make an argument about this, and it was an ex-military soldier. I don't know what his ranking was, but obviously it was a right-wing elder white man, and he was talking about how if you're trained in the military, he was trying to doubt the authenticity of the military man's status, saying that if you really are in the military, then you should know to respect authority, and you should never question orders or a chain of command, blah, blah, blah. And taking sides with the cops, and like, I don't know how you can ever put blame in the victim directly, at least all of the blame. There's obviously multiple gears and things that have to make something move for a whole situation to come out and play, but you can never place the blame in one person's hand.
I personally saw most military people defending the guy in the military.
Most, but there's always that one asshole that comes out and I actually got to see that asshole.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
So definitely just
Wild.
another unfortunate situation that we talked about. I'm glad we at least got to bring it up a little bit, and you know, you just hope that situations like this don't happen as often. But like I said, with this being a yearly thing now, people are just getting back outside. Like
It's not even a yearly thing.
It's
It's
like
day.
weekly,
Yeah.
man, daily.
Yeah,
like,
it's a couple times a week. I think it was like 165 black men or some shit were killed last year by the police.
Yeah.
Maybe more. So it's about every other day type shit. And it's just cases like these that get publicized. At this point, it's hard to even paint these young men or women as martyrs. They're almost just sacrifices.
Right.
You feel me? Like it is absolutely terrible the way it's. I could go on for this.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think we all
bro.
could, but we'll keep it pushing to the next topic and see what you guys think about this. I'm not sure where this exactly is, but Lil Nas X claims that Montero was going to be removed from DSPs today. I have not checked to update if this is actually true. The only reason I gave it much credence is because Columbia also responded, talking about this was out of their hands, not something they could control. With there being so much drama behind this track, it is an interesting thing if it was pulled. It's also kind of annoying if it's just a media tactic to get people to stream the song. So,
Right.
Wow, you're going to get us banned on Facebook for playing Montero. Look at you.
Wow.
You get yourself banned enough, bro. Leave Upstate Aesthetic alone.
Yeah, go.
Nah, I don't know the specifics with this, but bro, like Lil Nas X is a troll, right? Like we all can agree that Lil Nas X is a troll. But like having said that, I have checked the chart data just because I'm curious, you know what I'm saying? And my man is number one in a lot of places right now. Like I'm talking like really a lot, like globally. And I mean, from a marketing standpoint, bro, he did exactly what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? He made the track go crazy, and it's going to stay up there. And, you know, I don't know. I personally don't hate on him for it because, like, he did his thing. You know what I mean?
I hate this
It's
marketing
just, I don't know.
tactic on it. Like, in terms of the tactic, I don't...
Yeah, the troll tactics.
Like, this one specifically, like, in general, what he's done prior has been okay, but for me to, like, for you to lie to your fan base and get them thinking something's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen. Like they lose. I feel like they lose faith in you, especially when I believe, especially if you're a fan of Lil Nas X still at this point through all of this, like a diehard fan, you have to have like pretty deep faith in this guy, and then he lies to you about the song. So,
but it could have been.
Would you consider yourself like a huge diehard Lil Nas X fan, Andrew?
Nah, I'm a fan of Lil Nas X's music though. So
that's probably why it annoys you.
Okay,
though.
Yeah.
I feel like the diehard Lil Nas X fans either get a good laugh at this or don't give a fuck.
True.
You feel me?
Exactly.
To be honest, if it wasn't as controversial and as big of a spectacle, then this might be like a little more of like an eye roll to me. But the whole world's eyes on him, or at least did for about a week or two straight. Montero is still doing just as much numbers or close as it has been. It hasn't plateaued yet. I don't see it going anywhere. I do see him doing whatever he can to keep it at number one. And I'm trying to figure
That's what I was trying to say.
I'm very interested to see who he ends up deciding to bring in on a remix for this, because I guarantee that shit is going to happen.
Yeah.
And bro, like it's just on Spotify, it's doing over 8 million a day. Like that's absolutely astronomical.
That's
bro.
why
like,
I think it would have been crazy if what he was saying, I guess, was true. And that's where it just becomes so, I don't know, it's weird because from the perspective of what I guess and that was like initially it's like I don't really believe this, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not just bullshitting, because there has been so much drama around him and there can be potential like label influence and shit like that of trying to suppress the song.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the past with other artists.
It probably has happened. And well, you got one side of the coin where you do this as Lil Nas X and you lose faith or something with your core fan base. But I think something that might even be more likely, if it wasn't actual legal drama or something, if it wasn't planning to get taken down, he could totally be trolling even harder the people that hate him and get them feeling like, yeah, it's coming down, or it should be coming down, blah, blah. And then
it's still there.
Boom, it's at #1 for a whole nother month. You feel me? Like, it's just going to get...
That's a fact.
So,
that's a fact.
Facebook will be like, yeah, we win. Like,
we win, exactly. and then boom,
bro, I'm telling you.
The remix drops with Elton John and Lady Gaga. Like,
I'm telling you.
That was weirdly accurate.
The crazy thing too, bro, is like any like young person is just gonna listen to the song. You know what I'm saying? Playlists, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I listen to that song. I may not watch the video all the time, but that song, Montero, is in one of my playlists, and I play it weekly. So it's like, I don't know. I love the production. I like the song, so I don't know. I don't like the lyrics necessarily, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did his thing for sure.
Yeah, I like the song. I like what he did. I bump it once in a while too. But it's just a weird thing to me because, like I said, there are artists that have had their music suppressed by streaming services, like we've seen it, and it's generally for not being the most upstanding citizens, I guess is the best way to put it, in terms of like Tekashi, Tory Lanez, XXXTentacion. Like, those artists had seen that suppression. So for me, when I'm seeing this story come out, it's like, oh, the industry is trying to suppress you because of the devil worship thing or because of whatever. So it's just weird.
It could be.
It's just
weird.
I
don't know.
No, and so now for it not to have been the case, it's like it's weird for me to have seen him put that spin on it. I don't know. I don't see a major issue with it. It's definitely just a media ploy or to get people to go and spin the track and see what's up. So.
Yeah, imagine going, like Ryan says, going check today to see if it was gone. If you're like, hate him.
Was it actually devil worship, or did this nigga just get jiggy and dance on the devil? Like,
he killed the devil at the end, bro. So that's where it's not devil worship. He took his spot on the throne, bro.
So what the fuck? Where the Christians at? Where the Christians should be taking them? Christians are probably having
that's what they're saying.
A fucking meltdown.
Yeah, but
bro, Christians are having a field day. Trust me. I went on this other podcast with
gay
3
black
Christians.
man killed the devil.
That's it. That's it, though. That's exactly what they're saying. I promise.
That's exactly it.
It's Minecraft. Your friend kills the Ender Dragon. No, what the?
Oh my god. Oh jeez. Minecraft references.
Man.
All right, but yeah, let's keep it pushing to another topic that I think is relatively interesting. I'm curious to see what you guys got to say about this one. Angela Yee interviewed Quando Rondo. There was a bunch of backlash to this. Then they talked about it a little bit on The Breakfast Club. DJ Envy claimed that he had got a bunch of texts from people asking if he was good in Chicago. He didn't know what they were talking about initially, then found out that about the interview. Charlemagne was like so surprised that people could have an issue with this. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. What do you guys think?
If they gave 6ix9ine an interview, not necessarily The Breakfast Club, but if Angela Yee didn't do this, then anybody else was. You feel me? If The Breakfast Club didn't do this, somebody else was. And Quando Rondo is not the person that killed King Von, but he is a huge instigator. He has shown a huge lack of remorse and respect towards the situation. I watched about a 6-7 minute clip of the interview. I didn't see the whole thing. It was a waste of time, if I had to put it frankly. He really gave no insight to the situation that wasn't already out there or just able to be assumed. He was hard to understand. He was using words that didn't exist. It was bad. It was bad, but not on Angela Yee's side. She did what she's supposed to do as media. I'm kind of with Charlemagne on this. You can be mad if you want, but that's them doing their job.
That's a fact. It is them doing their job at the end of the day. And I I don't know, bro. I feel like you said, it was a complete waste of time. It was, truly. Like, there's nothing that we didn't. I feel like there's nothing we didn't learn that was like we already knew. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. Media, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yo, best.
I didn't watch, so I can't really say, but I would not. This just shows something that I'd ever even be interested, even if it were good.
Yeah.
I don't. I just Quando Rondo is like at the bottom of my radar, to be honest.
He was before all this happened. You feel me? It's not. I remember he dropped a track one summer. It's ABG. Anybody can get it. And I bumped that for like 2 weeks, and then he just like was gone from my mind. You feel me?
Right.
I think Savon is an absolute tragedy, and I think that Quando Rondo could have handled the situation significantly better afterwards. And
you think he did it just to get press though?
The interview?
You think? I'm saying like everything.
Like killed.
What he was talking about in the interview, one thing that I thought was interesting, and he took like 5 fucking minutes to say this. He was like, I'm a millionaire. Why would I chase clout? I got all the clout in the world, blah, blah, blah. Which, no, you don't. But at the same time, I don't think that he was trying to use a situation like this to boost himself up a notch. You feel me? I think he was doing what he would have done if the same thing happened to a nigga in his hood and he wasn't famous. You feel me? That's how I personally feel, is he was just being him, and him is a dumbass. You feel me? Like, it just wasn't really a great situation overall, and he could have did a lot more by coming out and saying something insightful, saying sorry to his mom, and just explaining what happened in the situation. Because there are, like, this shit happens every day. It doesn't matter, not to famous people, not to celebrities, but there's fights all the time that end up in somebody getting shot. Yeah. And it's never okay. It's never an acceptable thing, but it happens. You feel me? And so if he would have came out and apologized, made people see, like, I didn't necessarily do this. My homie was just defending. And so y'all can hate us if you want, but it happened. You feel me? I'm sorry, Vaughn's mom. I'm sorry, Dirk. I'm sorry, Vaughn.
No,
it was just a weird situation.
It is. It's weird, and it best said that he thinks Rondo is just trying to play victim. I agree with that 100%, especially in how he was trying to present what I saw in this interview. Do you think people are like doing more or saying more on the internet about Angela Yee because she's a female interviewer rather than if it was someone like Charlamagne or Envy who did the interview?
Nah, I think Charlamagne probably would have even got more hate. Personally,
but it's Charlamagne though. He's always gonna get hate. Right. You know what I'm saying?
People love to hate the Breakfast Club, and there's a lot of valid reasons to. But I personally haven't heard too much or have any reason to be mad at Angela Yee.
I think it was weird. I think it was weird to give Quando Rondo this platform, and I also think it's weird the way that she is responding to it after, especially because she apparently is like friends with his manager and shit, so it really feels like she's putting a positive spin on the press side of things, talking about she didn't believe he had any ill intentions at all and that type of shit. Like, I feel like the way she is presenting the interview and going about it is kind of whack to me, but at the same time it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. That's a good perspective too.
So
Angela Yee, they all have their own little individual, except for DJ Envy. He has his own little ventures, but he doesn't interview people individually. You feel me? Charlamagne and Angela Yee both have their own separate little gigs and platforms, whether it's through the same company where they do their own shit. Angela Yee, this is not the first time she's interviewed somebody that's controversial. And people are acting like this is the worst case of somebody that she's interviewed, as if Quando Rondo did the worst thing ever. He's just a bitch that's trying to play the victim. You feel me? That could have handled the situation better.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I agree. So definitely an interesting thing there. If y'all want, you go check out the interview for yourself and let us know what you think. Let's talk. This next conversation is one that kind of has popped up, reemerged. It kind of pops up every time a bigger named artist passes away. where people start talking about who was a legend, who wasn't a legend in music. I just think it's an interesting conversation as to what you guys think establishes a legendary run in music, especially because it just, with DMX passing, it kind of put it into perspective for me of like, okay, I do consider him a legend. Where do I necessarily consider someone like Pop Smoke, Lil Peep, XXXTentacion, even someone like Mac Miller and all of these, so, or Nipsey too. So I'm curious what you guys think.
Well, I just want to start with, I think DMX is in like a different conversation just in terms of the fact that he's one of the few rappers who has a diamond album. Like I think there's like
Wait, DMX has a diamond album? Are you sure?
I believe it's
He's
Dark
about to
and
fact
House.
check you, so we're gonna find out.
Fact check.
He did 2 platinum albums in 1 year, but I'm not sure if he has a diamond album. You might be right.
I'm almost positive.
But yeah, I agree that he is kind of definitely in a whole other league of his own, kind of regardless, and that I think Best puts it in a good way, talking about depending on your region, that's where you're a legend at. I think that's a good way to put it, and maybe not even just your region of where you live, but where your demographic of fan base is online.
I would personally say, go ahead, Ant.
I was just gonna say DMX is a universal international legend. I'm not sure if that's where this conversation is. If we're just strictly talking about DMX's legend status, I don't think that's
more so comparing him to, because like when Pop Smoke passed, when Lil Peep passed, people were immediately putting them into their own legendary conversation for one reason or another, because they were maybe changing the sound of music or helping push into a new sound of music. So, and that's my bigger question. Do you consider that type of thing, like pushing a new sound of music or just one new sound of music, is that enough to be considered a legend or not?
In my opinion, my bad.
You're good, bro. Go ahead.
In my opinion, bro, like it's solely based off of your fan base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it truly is. Like we could sit here and be like DMX is an amazing legend up there with the greats all day long, but like the people who listen to Lil Peep or Pop Smoke the most aren't gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say Lil Peep is a legend top 5. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's what they listen to the most. So.
Wait, let me say this, because I agree with you, but I will say, who gives a fuck if they don't? You feel me? Because
that's true. I agree.
I think there are legends that you get to a certain point and it's almost a fact. It's not a matter of opinion. You are a legend and you're not. Best said, depending on your region, that's where you're a legend at. You can be a legend in your hood, you could be a legend in your state, you could be a legend to your fan base, like you're saying. But you pass a certain threshold and you are a legend as a fact. You feel me?
Do you feel like DMX passed that threshold?
I think he passed it 15 years ago.
Right.
I think
same. That's for real.
Well, I think he's been a legend.
Okay,
what
and so
DMX did is so underrated. I mean, he has movies with Jet Li in the prime of his career. You feel me? Like what DMX did in hip hop, he was one of the first emotional gangsters. He made it cool to talk about your demons while still seek a relationship with God. He made it cool to talk about what's going on in your head and the demons and the people inside of you that you can't necessarily verbalize otherwise. When it comes to mental health, when it comes to pop culture, you can look at footages of DMX concerts and you can't see anything but people. It is literally it is bigger than any church sermon you could possibly imagine. More people at it than when Kanye has a church event. It is unfucking believable. And one thing that I will say, if this doesn't make you legendary, I don't know what is. DMX beat Snoop Dogg in a versus contest. And his career was like this long. You feel me? Like he beat Snoop Dogg, who still drops gold albums to this day in any genre and has throughout his whole career. He beat Snoop Dogg in a versus contest with damn near 3 albums.
No, I think that's valid. I think that's definitely valid. You're in my eyes, you're relating it to like he's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an undeniable thing, which, like, is true, bro. Like, it is undeniable. My only question is, like, is he gonna go down in history forever as, like, one of the top legends ever, like, to come out the gate?
If you look up any top 25 greatest rappers of all time list, DMX is on it.
Yeah.
I promise you. And it's been like that. And I saw the first list when I was probably in 4th or 5th grade on BET. They had the top 10 rappers of all time. And you can't just give too much merit to that. That was so long ago, and it was one list by one person. You feel me? But they had DMX, I think, 7th behind Pac, Big, Andre 3000, Jay-Z, Eminem, and Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like,
right.
That is like, DMX is a top 25 greatest hip hop artist of all time, without question.
Without doubt.
Without question. He has a better catalog, resume, more impressive feats, accomplishments than 90% of hip hop.
Yeah.
The reason why this is even a conversation right now is because of all the troubles that he had.
Mm-hmm.
If DMX, unfortunately, if he could have stayed off drugs for the majority of his career, handled his battles better, and stayed out of prison, then this conversation would be so different.
Right.
He'd be acting in movies right now. He's about to drop a new album, and I can't wait to hear what that is. I can't compare it to the early albums in his career. I just want to see what's next from him. But he's a top 25 greatest rapper of all time.
I think it was just a good conversation to put into perspective the whole legends in music conversation, especially with so many young artists passing, especially over the last couple of years. To see one of the big stars from early on pass, and recognizing the scope of that legendary conversation in comparison to maybe legendary within their fan base or their generation or just their general area, like has been discussed. So I think that's a good point, a good conversation. And it's just, I find it crazy how many people want to jump on the idea of, like, oh, DMX was a legend, but such and such artist can't be a legend, like, without recognizing the idea that everybody just has their own different perspective. I don't know.
No,
That's fair.
You become a legend, and you're to whoever supports you once they get you to that place. You feel me? It might not be universal. There are so many legends that are legends to a specific group of people.
Right.
That's so true.
I just think, like, once you get to a certain place, and I don't know how to define that place. I think you have
to do like
it's universal.
because there are various things I feel like that can make you legendary, right? Like being just very big in your community, having the best music, shifting the boundaries of the music that you're making, doing stuff like that, having chart-topping hits, like stuff like that. But if you bring it all into one, it kind of becomes undeniable. Or if you have like 3 out of the 4, it becomes undeniable. But when you only have 1 or 2, and a large fan base that is willing to push that, people have other reasons to discredit it. But once you have like 4 of the reasons, it's hard to discredit.
Yeah, well, you know,
for sure.
It's a debate, but like this to me is just like one of those things. Is just like out of all the things we can like argue and debate, it's like who's a legend and who's not. That's really what people are gonna like be worried about. It's the first thing
people worry about the second anybody dies, bro. It's an immediate conversation.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Like, why is that? Like you're gonna tell people that loved an artist, you're gonna be that guy that's just gonna be like, that artist you love is not a legend. Fuck you. It's just like
that's a fact.
That's the person you want to be. Like whatever. Like
I seen some dude promoting his music that way over the last week, just sharing it to like 20 different groups. So like Pop Smoke, not a legend. XXX, not a legend. DMX, a legend. And like just that was, and then in the comments would be like, check out my music on SoundCloud. And I was like, wow, you got 60 streams off this, bro. Like, you did a great job. He was resharing his own list and being like, this guy's list is fucking stupid. And I'm like, I could see that that's your list, bro. But
bro, that's tragic. That's tragic.
I had to comment on one of them, and I was like, imagine if you utilized your time actually marketing yourself in a way that was effective.
Facts.
And
You can't break through to dudes like that,
No.
bro. They're like, I am marketing. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Like,
he was like, "Why are you only
Yeah,
posting
that's true.
negative shit?" And I was like, "All right, I'm gonna keep it pushing."
yo, it's like, there was
Oh
some
my
dude
God.
that was, and I'm not gonna put him on blast, but there was a rapper out here that was commenting his link every time Scory made a Facebook
Dude.
post. He was just like, yo, listen to this. It happened for 2 weeks, and then one time I'm scrolling down Facebook, and he commented on Scory's post, and Scory replied back to him and was like, I'm still not listening to that shit, little bro.
How do you guys feel about that? And that's a good way to kind of transition into our next portion of the conversation, where we're just going to be talking to Jake about releasing music in general. But how do you guys feel about that? Because in some ways, like, it works on some platforms like Twitter where people just do that, but it feels weird, right?
Bro,
Man.
it's ridiculous. Like, you should just stop, dude. If you're doing that, like, in my opinion, just hang up the jersey, bro. Like, just hang it up. Call it a day.
If you just started and you're doing that, whatever, but
Nah, bro,
you shouldn't do it. You don't want to because there's people that I did fucking everything, bro. I've tried everything. When I was dropping old songs on SoundCloud when I was in high school, and I had nobody except people who knew me listening to my shit. I went through trial and error. Some of that shit, spamming, it works to a certain extent. You just don't want to get that mark on you because you lose so much credibility. The how much a view means to you devalues to an actual fan. They're less likely to get an actual connection with you because they see that you're just a hoe. You don't actually.
Nah, that's real. That's real.
You don't want them to listen to it. You want any fucking body to listen to it. You feel me? It's desperate, and it's not. It's just really. It looks really beginner. If you're established, if you've been doing this, then there's no excuse to do shit like that.
What
and
about,
Drew,
like,
I heard you
previewing,
mention
like,
on Twitter.
Yeah, go ahead.
I see it all the time happen on Twitter effectively, where people get in threads and it makes sense to drop a little trailer or your video or a clip of you rapping, and it'll get 5,000, 10,000 views. You feel me? But to just copy and paste some shit on every thread you see of somebody else's shit, they don't care. You feel me? They don't care. That's not people who know you or support you. You might get one person to listen to your shit, but you just got 99 who will never listen to your shit because they saw you do this. You feel me? That's how I look at it.
Do you guys get Facebook messages though from like local people like, yo, I'm gonna blow up, bro. You have to check it right now or you're late to the party. Like, I get those weekly and I'm just like, why would you send me this? Like, and now that makes me not want to check you out. You know what I'm saying?
No, son,
When I get tagged in shit, it's like, yeah, nope.
You're like,
if
no.
Tag you and 99 others, yeah.
It's just not genuine, you know what I mean?
Dudes
Bro,
be hitting me up.
let's talk about that. How people tag you and 100 other people listen. There's some people out there that are good people that do this, and I'm like, dude, we ain't listening. Like, we ain't listening.
It's like, look, I would literally, like, if I saw this link online, I would click it. If they messaged me, I would listen.
Yeah, personally, hey, can you check this out?
Yeah, I'll listen to it. But you tag me in a post with 99 other people, I am not going to listen to it. There is not a chance. There's no, like, I don't care if Anthony posted a new song and he tagged me with 99 other people. He would never do this. But if he did that, I wouldn't listen to his song ever. Ever.
Same. I'm on that same. On that same wave, bro.
And I think, I don't know what be going in people's minds when they do that shit, cause it's never. I've seen people tag 14, 15 people who maybe asked to be tagged when the shit comes out, or I want y'all specific opinion on this. But if you're just typing A and then clicking and then typing B and then clicking whoever the fuck pops up, then that's, oh my God, it's so bad. There's such a difference. I'm sure all you guys can attest to this, of somebody hitting you up in your DMs and being like, yo, Sheridan, yo, Jake, I really fuck with you as an artist. I respect what you do, and I want your specific feedback on this song. Even if it's not yo, I fuck with you, and I want your feedback. It's yo, I just dropped this. I see that you guys are doing what you do over here. You have drew a platform. Can you listen to this? And if you like it, we'll do whatever. You feel me? That's so much different and personable than here. Click this. If I get
you're right. That's beautiful when people do that.
Exactly.
But yo, Blick just said tag 100 people and be like, I should have 100 plays. That's so true though. That's so true. They'd be like, nah, I don't understand why no one supports me, bro. That's why. Like, that's why no one supports you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not trying to like talk down on people, but like, you guys, like, you have to study the game, man, and you have to see what people are doing effectively and implement those same strategies in your own way. You know what I mean?
Best. We can't get you. I don't think you could call in right now, but we got to get you on the show sometime.
Facts, we could, yeah.
If you tag people and you're targeting, if you know how to target an audience properly, then why are you tagging people and not running ads?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If you know how to target an audience, most people don't know how to target an audience. But if you do, then take $10, $50, and use $1 or $2 a day for a month and see where that takes you. The targeting,
100%.
You feel me? So I understand what you mean. Like it could be nice, but the majority of people, you can get 3 or 4 or 5, even 10 people to check out your shit. But the other 90 in that status are gonna avoid you. Like they're gonna be that's spam right there.
Yeah. And not only that, bro, but you're not gonna build lifelong fans. You're just not. Like you might get people that'll tune in and check your song out, but you are definitely not getting lifelong fans.
And best, you're a media platform. You cover rappers and you give platform and light and you show love to them and give like opportunity to them. It's different for somebody that makes music to be making those same comments. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit different. I see where you're coming from, but Jake and Drew just made some great points.
To Jake's point too, like when you do tag 90 people, say all 90 tune in. Like unless you're really thinking about it and taking like an hour to selectively pick like a perfect 90 who you're like, this song is going to be great for them, they're really not probably going to be fans of it. So you're better off utilizing your time marketing yourself to people who are actually going to like that rather than the first 90 people you can tag. And that's the biggest problem with it for me is like it's simply so lazy. It's the same as when you get an Instagram message that you know all they did was click like 50 people and hit send. Like I'm like there's no effort. There's no effort. You're trying to do this in the scope of like 5 minutes, and at that point I'm not going to give you more time than you gave me to even listen to this or to even try this. So
because it's like Ant said earlier, bro, like it's not personalized. Like it's not from me to you having a conversation. It's, hey, I'm going to hold this megaphone and hope that you listen to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's literally what it is.
It's literally like if I was out somewhere and a person was holding a megaphone trying to get me to listen, I most likely, bro, unless they were saying some like crazy stuff, I would not listen to them. You know what I mean? I'm walking by. I keep minding my own business, you know?
At least with a megaphone, you're forced to hear it. With a tag, you can be like, I'm not.
It only works. That type of shit only works when it's like controversial clickbait or like just some type of controversial video. You know what I mean? Otherwise, when it's music, people will look and then they're immediately judging it in just a couple seconds. So, I don't know.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Let's talk more, Jake, about where to invest as an artist and like how that process works for you in terms of like, because you do obviously a lot of YouTube videos. It seems to be very successful for you, doing over 1 million on a couple of different videos, I'm pretty sure, right? So how does that work?
Yeah.
Like how do you even begin it? Like you have your track, you want to get something onto a YouTube platform. Maybe somebody tuned in doesn't know how to do this.
Yeah, so the first thing is you have to have good music, clearly, obviously, right? This is an obvious thing to us because, you know, it is what it is. But, like, I will say that a lot of people that try to do this do not have good music, bro. Like, they don't. It's not quality. It's not going to go on a channel, and they are out of their damn mind if they think that a channel is going to post their shit. You know what I mean? So number one, first and foremost, have good music, or spend time working on your craft to get there. You know what I mean? But say you have good music, right? Say you have good music and it's really good quality, whatever. The thing that you have to realize with like YouTube channels is that it's just like me developing a relationship with you, Drew, or like you, Sheridan, or Ant. It's literally like me reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, I like your channel. I really love your content. I'm not even plugging my music at this point, right? I'm just saying to them, I really love what you're doing. You know, I'm one of your subscribers and I support you, right? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the conversation leads to them thanking me or something, and you'd be surprised how many people would reply to you. And if the conversation leads to that, then you can lead in and be like, I'm also a musician, and I really feel like, you know, my content could fit your channel. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you'd be so surprised how many people are willing to check your stuff out, dude. Like, you know,
because they need content too. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, those channels need something as well, especially if it is going to be quality. So.
Exactly. And the thing that I'll say is, like, once you get on one, that's the door opener for every single other one. You know what I mean? As soon as you get on one channel and it does really well, or it does even moderately well, you're opening that door for a million other channels to just put your stuff on there. And I will say, bro, like, you have to be, like, T Melly and I had a conversation about this not too long ago. You have to be careful on which channels you choose, because there's a lot of bot channels and a lot of people out there with fake subs and like stuff like that. Yep. But by simply using like a website like Chartmetric or, you know, Sound Charts, you can easily see the engagement percentage level. You can easily see if the comments are real and where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
Dude,
and like really important stuff like that.
Do you ever go through and read the comments on some of your videos? I went through last night and was reading some of them because I was like, this is dope. Like, there's hundreds of legitimate comments about your music. Like, that's not something everybody in Upstate gets.
Bro, I read them every week, man. Like, I read them every week because, like, one, I feel like it's important to make sure they're real. Yeah. And two, it's one of those things, man, where like, I was looking at chart data. I posted it today of like where my songs have charted, right? And it's global, and it just proves to me like people are buying my music without me even asking them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even asking them to buy my music, and they're doing it. So it's like, if I'm able to do that solely based off of YouTube, like, imagine the possibilities if you could get cross platforms like YouTube, TikTok, freaking, you know, Facebook ads. Like, if you were utilizing all these things, imagine the possibilities for a local artist. It's endless, bro. It's endless. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I just think that it's about, number one, having good music, but number two, being able to just like put your foot in the door and just trust yourself. Right. You know what I mean? Trusting in your craft and the fact that you actually have good music. You know what I mean? Because more often than not, if you actually are good, somebody will be willing to help you. You know what I mean? They will be willing to develop a partnership with you. Because it
helps themselves as well. It's mutually beneficial. Right. You feel me?
Exactly.
At the end of the day. That's where quality comes in. You feel me? That's when it becomes mutually beneficial for them.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, once you get on channels and stuff, as long as they're putting your social media and stuff in there, like, bro, I'll tell you that I started out on YouTube with literally like 12 subs last year or something crazy, right? And I have like 6,000 now, but which is not a lot, right? But my engagement percentage is so ridiculously high that it's like, it's undeniable that if you get on channels and they post your social media, you will automatically develop a fan base, period. Like, you will. As soon as you drop a video, they are going straight to
because in theory, like, you kind of fit that demo, right? Like, you should, if they're gonna post your content, people who are already listening to that style of music, you'll fit what they like. They'll be like, oh, this is another person in my demo. So that's where people also have to recognize finding the right channels that fit who listens to their style of sound, I think is important as well.
That's exactly it, bro. Like, that's what I tell people all the time is like, just market yourself to the specific audience that already listens to your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people that already listen to you are gonna want to listen to you more. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's obvious, right, bro. And the other thing too, I don't know if you guys know this, but and this is like a new thing that I'm testing the waters in, but like publications and stuff that you do, Drew, is like so important for artists because if you have a week 1 release that you just dropped and you have an editorial like article written up about you, you're 50% more likely to get on editorials for like Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. It's like it takes you from here to here, you know what I mean, in an instant. So I would highly suggest to like reach out to Drew or reach out to 607 Sound or reach out to somebody willing to write a write-up about you. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's local, you'll still pop up on Google, homie. Like, you'll still pop up on the Google thing. So, and not to mention, I'm kind of going on a tangent, but not to mention that, but like once you get articles, if you apply for verification on any platform, when you have Google articles about you, you will have a massively higher chance of getting verified. Yeah, it's like it's insane.
Instagram's harder than Facebook, but I know a lot of rappers that could get verified on Facebook right now, probably.
Yep.
I can't say a lot, but there's a couple out here. Facebook verification don't need that much, but if you can get verified on Instagram after your articles come out, that Lyrical Lemonade one that you got, bro. If you got 3-4 of those with a similar reputability, you could get verified tomorrow. You feel me? In the next couple of days. I submitted like 15 articles because I tried to get verified on Instagram, but I don't have one as reputable. I have a lot of smaller, reputable, verified sources, but I don't have one that's as big as like a Lyrical Lemonade or something. They care a lot more about big platforms or like actual news articles than like blogs in general. You feel me? If they do look at how reputable the sources that are writing about you are when they contemplate if they're gonna verify you.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true.
People be buying verification though. That shit costs.
Yeah,
shit costs
bro. Listen,
$2.
people. Listen. The local people be buying followers out here.
Hit up Jake Strain. You could get verified today.
Damn, son.
What? That's free advertisement. That's free advertisement.
I'm selling verification for 10 bands. No, I'm joking.
Listen, he could get you publications. He could get you verified. Everything. Jake Strain.
Yeah, dude. He writes, bro. He writes. He's a writer for Hype Magazine.
Yeah, right.
He's Jake Strain is a writer for like 5 different, like pretty decent sized.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, shout out to bro. That's amazing.
Yeah, Jake Strain. He
writes for like multiple. He writes for what's the other one?
He writes for hip hop is 1987. Medium.
This is 50, right? Wasn't that?
This is the one.
Crazy.
So y'all niggas is wilding right now. But
I'm just saying.
I'm dead ass saying it.
Get your verification today. That's all. This is free advertisement. This is not a sponsored episode. Jake Strain.
For the fans, that is free advertisement for the oppas.
Anyway.
Okay, back to the videos though, because this is something I'm very curious about. How does the visual process work? Like when you do submit a video, do you just send them a track and they put the video together so that way it fits their platform already? Like they create the whole lyric video, or do you have someone create that? Do you create it yourself?
Not all of them I've ever worked with have created the videos themselves. However, they will ask you for like ideas that you have, like, oh, what do you want this to look like? Or, oh, I just like let people have free reign usually because it's their platform, bro. It's not mine. You know what I mean? Like if they have an aesthetic already or something, I'll just be like, have free reign, do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like for the song that I have coming out in a couple weeks, for the first time, I have like an actual legit animator working on like an animation music video.
Okay.
And bro, literally she was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do this and that, and I was like, that's all good, like you have total reign, you know what I mean? Because for me to be like, nah, it has to be a certain way is like almost putting a cap on someone's creativity, you know what I'm saying?
I feel the exact same way. It's like with cover art, with anything like that, I try to let
just go hard, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Do what you do. Like, but nah, for the channels and stuff, they always like create it themselves. I don't have to pay anybody to do it. But I've never paid to be on a YouTube channel, dude. Like ever. Like people think I'm crazy when I say that, or they think I'm lying, but I'm swear to God, I have never ever paid to be on any channel ever. It's just like, if you have good music, man, they will support you. I promise you.
I feel like if you're paying too, like that's probably, I mean, and I don't know for sure, but I feel like that you're probably just getting that feels like a botted channel to me. Like I don't know why, but I feel like
same, dude, same.
Well, there are channels that do pay for play, or you gotta pay to even submit something that are authentic. It's not necessarily the best way, but
World Star
World Star is a little bit different. I would say personally, World Star has been out for 20 years. It's a hip hop culture.
Right.
Well, then
You feel me?
What's Adam 22 shit? No Jumper.
You can pay to be streamed on there or something.
What do you think of that? Do you think that is a beneficial way to go about spending your money?
Yo, there's rappers that
Could be.
not. And granted, you have to have a specific type of style to see a lot of success on a platform like No Jumper. It's a really younger demographic that likes a specific type of music. But there have been people that have jump started their careers off those $100 reposts. It's like I've contemplated doing it before, but that's not my demographic. You feel Elevator? That's how Lil Mosey won a Coast to Coast contest, which is famous for being fake. And like a waste of time and money and energy. He won a Coast to Coast contest, got $50,000, dropped his first video, and Elevator published it. His career is like that.
Yep.
So,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
There's legit ways to like go through that avenue. You just have to be in a certain style and do it the right way, and probably get a little lucky.
Yeah.
Luck is key to everything, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Luck is huge, man. Luck is huge.
Yeah.
But if you're consistent and you actively keep pursuing what you're going at, you'll find something. With an artist like Jake, with an artist like Sheridan, with an artist like me, we're all gonna have 3 different types of channels that take our music.
Yeah.
You and Jake, you guys could probably get a little bit more similar. You might be able to get to some of the ones each other can. But when I'm looking at rap channels, it's way different, but the same principles. You feel me? You still have to find your targeted audience. You still have to find a channel with similar sounding quality songs with artists that fit your type of music.
True.
You think it's harder for rap artists?
Well, I can't say harder because I don't think rapping is harder than singing. I can't say one of them is harder than the other. Because once you get to a certain level of quality, you still have to do the same amount of work.
I think it is harder for rappers to get on channels, though, bro. Yeah, I do. I really think it's like probably 20% harder, actually.
To just get on a channel, yeah, but once you get to that point, you still have to do the same thing. There's more outlets for somebody like you. You feel me? People want radio-ready music because that's what generates the most plays. And not all rap music is radio-ready. Even though hip-hop is the biggest genre in the world right now, so I think that's kind of bullshit. But for lyric channels and shit, they want radio-ready music. For the anime videos that get made, I never see those in the hip-hop community. And when they do, so it probably is harder. But I think once you get to that level of quality, you still have to do the same things. And if it is harder, you still got to do it. You still just got to find the page. Still got to build that relationship and go from there. You feel me?
I agree.
I mean, now I'm thinking about it more, they have those pages, but it's for like underground niche shit. Like when X came up, he came up on like a lot of like like weird underground YouTube pages that did like AMV, like anime
Right.
videos.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's even still a
X-
different
yeah,
demo than
X-
like strictly rapping.
I was
I
gonna
would say.
say X transcends hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pop. That's pop, really.
Mhm.
You know.
He did so
But-
he did.
But I mean, you talk about Suicide Boys. They were doing that. They had a lot of that stuff. Like,
Bro, everything that you're talking about is rap music infused with many different genres.
well, but that's what I guess that's what I'm saying. You have to be in a certain niche, but there is like hip hop.
There's outlets.
There are those hip hop outlets. It's just not necessarily for traditional hip hop.
I agree.
Right, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Agreed.
Yeah, I think it.
But I will say, though, that, like, YouTube can change your life,
Mhm.
homie. It really can. Like, YouTube has changed my life
What
completely.
about-
Like, it's crazy.
What about buying streams? Can that change your life or no?
No, yo, gee,
It can
this is
ruin
the
it.
most hated thing like in my life, bro. I feel like I'm the internet police with this. Like, it's
You
I'm
be
dead
seeing them
serious,
on
bro. There's local
Facebook
people.
showing their streams. They're not authentic.
Oh my god, no, they're not authentic. What do you think, bro? Never mind.
I
Yeah.
swear I get a message from like once a week. It's like, dude, look at this guy. Like trying to talk about having a bunch of streams. He's got no streams or no streams. He's got no
Bro,
followers.
here's the sad part. Let me just break it down for you. Here's the sad thing. There's legitimate people who are doing videos for artists in the local community, and someone who I'm not going to name is buying fake views for them, and it is only hurting them. It's not helping them. You know what I'm saying? That person just needs to be X'd out of the equation, and they need to do their own thing from now on, and I'm not going to go into it, but just
It
stop.
doesn't
We just
fool
went into
anybody
it.
though. You know what I mean? Too is like it ain't.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you're not fooling no one.
No,
Like,
that's a
get the
lie.
fake
That's a lie.
followers on
It
IG.
fools some
come on.
people.
You're
It
fooling
fools some
them,
people, but it doesn't fool the people that I would say matter. I would say it fools the very casual listeners who are not really going to give you much more than a quick. Oh,
Casual
yeah.
listeners matter.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Nah, I mean,
They do, but it's a different. I mean, like it's different. It's usually those people are probably gonna support
Even those
you
people
no matter what.
recognize when you have one song on an album that does 70,000 plays and everything else is less than 1,000.
under 1,000. Yeah, that's
a common
That's
one.
it right there. My thing.
I don't
is,
know
like,
how
bro,
easy it is to convince people that overnight you got 90,000% upgrade in your stream volume. I don't. That's a hard one.
Nah, you know what they do? They make it believable because they'll be like, overnight, I got 7,000 views. 7,000 is believable, right? But then the next, bro, these people, I'm telling you, not to us, but to the consumer, it is.
Hey, one nigga out here that could get 7,000 views overnight, and people gonna be like, "That makes sense."
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, to the average consumer, they're like 7,000. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But to us, we're like, all right, what's your engagement percentage? 0.2%. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make sense. You know?
I feel similar to y'all in the sense where it's absolutely, it's inorganic. It's obvious. You can spot it out as quick as day. And it's something that I wouldn't do myself. You feel me? But I have actually seen this work. I've seen folks put $200 into botted views, get 2 million, and grab a $2,000 check out of it. I've seen that. I've seen that shit happen. And so,
It can't be that easy though,
weird.
because otherwise you know
No,
what I mean?
No, I'm not about to just talk about this because I think that shit is corny. You feel me? But I don't want to put narrative there that doesn't work. I think it's about what your end goal is. Some people don't want to be famous. Some people just want that $2,000 check. But that's why 50 million songs get taken off of Spotify, and people are getting penalized for what they think may be organic promotion for the actions of a lot of other people. You feel me? I know some folks who are paying for playlists, and it's obvious as day. I got 3,000 followers overnight. I got 20,000 monthly listeners right now, and then it drops to 20 after 28 days. You feel me? Like,
yeah,
you can tell when you know when somebody bought a package.
It's just such a short-sighted plan, man. It's so short-sighted where it needs to be effective in 30 days, or I'm gonna make it in 30 days or less. Otherwise, I'm gonna look like an idiot in 30 days or less.
I know somebody in Texas, right? I don't know him actually. I actually absolutely hate his music. But it's somebody that I've stumbled across through Facebook a couple years ago, and I've kept him on my Facebook because the statistics that he gets amaze me. You feel me? I listen to his music, I'm like, yo, this is objectively bad. He be getting industry features, and his shit sounds like he recorded in his room, and then the other person's shit sounds like it's wild. But he'll be having 500, 600, 700,000 views on his shit. And he'll be posting his statistics and his engagement and showing that it's kind of real. You feel me? But it's all through playlisting. Like he bought playlists, which I'm assuming were inorganic, triggered the algorithm, and now he's getting tens of thousands streams on Discover Weekly, release radars, and his shit is like 60% algorithmic listen to, if people know what that means, because he did some shit inorganically, which I looked at that shit and I was like,
crazy.
Even for every one or two guys this works for, the casual 20, it's not working.
But I just have a question. Like, what do you think about that? Because that's almost like manipulating the system to work in your favor organically with a jump start, with an inorganic jump start.
To me, that's still whack. To me, that's super whack.
It's whack, but I almost have to applaud it because you tricked the algorithm. You feel me? To actually work in your favor. Like, I don't know.
What about the longevity of your career? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but he already makes shitty music. He's not a good artist. He doesn't have longevity to begin with. You feel me? But now, he's getting hundreds of thousands of views from real people. He has a song with IDK. You feel me? Like,
that's crazy.
I'm sitting here like this. The song is so bad, but it has a couple 100,000 views, and he's posting the algorithmic data, and I'm sitting here like, yo, this is nuts. Like that. It's corny. I absolutely think it's corny. But it was almost like, wow.
That's craziness, bro.
Like, and that's, I guess, in that case where it works, the short-sighted plan pops off into actually being something effective. It's just. Like, I feel you have to have, I'll put it to you this way. If you're going to do it, you have to have a much better plan. And I may be wrong here, but you have to have a better plan than just, I'm going to throw $200 at streams. Like, you have to think more beyond just that.
Bro, because they think that I'm convinced that people do this just for clout, bro. Like, people literally will just be like, I got 30K followers on the gram. I'm crazy. This is wild.
That'll take them to 31,000. You feel me?
It's like,
now that they have something that, well, to be honest, the logic isn't that bad. People are followers and they follow trends. If they see,
it's just
other
been
people
happening for so long now that it's
they're
easy
more
to
likely
spot.
to gravitate. Exactly.
That's the thing.
The logic almost makes sense, but when you look at reality, it's the stupidest thing you could do.
It's like repeating a con game that you know has been going on for the last 5 years and expecting it to still be as effective as it was in 2016. Like, it's not.
The damn pyramid
scheme.
True.
And, for real though, for real. My thing though is like my suggestion to these local artists out here, just like, and there's a lot. Listen, I'll say that there's a lot of OGs trying to spit game at you, but that game is flawed, bro. Like, that game's old news. I'm sorry, they're buying views too. They got 8,000 in a week.
The thing is,
the
too,
cap off
locally,
limit.
Locally, they don't want. Like, locally, people honestly don't really want to learn from other local artists. Like, that's as simple as it gets. Like, every time we do the Cypher, when we talk about news and drama, it's very much like our viewers are at the highest. When we start talking about trying to give game or, like, any advice to, like, artists and, like, here's... And it's not even what you have to do. It could just be an alternative way of thinking. They're like, nah, I've already got it figured out. So...
Some people are more receptive than others.
I think so.
You feel me? Everybody wants to learn how to do it, but
that's why they're still at 100 views, though. That's why they're still at 100 views. That's all I'm gonna say.
to be honest, I stopped. I don't even give a fuck about views right now, and haven't for the past, I'd say, 6 months to a year, because I saw so many people go from 100 monthly listeners to 100,000 organically through the proper way, or through a look that they got, or through exactly. Like, and so when you have 100 real people, we talk about this all the time, but if you can sell 50 CDs, if you can sell 50 single purchases, if you could sell 100 downloads on whatever platform you have, bro, that's so much more valuable to you than 20,000 monthly listeners that'll go away the next month. Because you just have to build from that number. Most people, you just have to get that base number and build it. Too many people think that they lie so much, they get the numbers that they're paying for it, they start to believe that many people are listening to their shit, and that they're genuine. They're more
That's
popular
insane
than they are.
to me.
No,
that's insane to me.
But it's a fact. It genuinely happens. And so if people could stop being so concerned with the numbers that you can see for face value, and the actual people that are coming back, returning customers, supporting a loyal fan base, you feel me? That is shit that you can't replicate. That stuff you just have to build.
Yeah. Just some of the stuff I've seen locally, and especially recently, has just been like, what is going on? Like, it's so obvious. A lot of times, it's obvious. So
it's gotten to the point where it's just like, okay.
I can't even be mad at these folks who do it, bro. I just walk better for them.
I'm mad, homie. I'll be mad for you.
Yeah. You can have all that, bro. You can have all that. These niggas, it's almost like I be trying to talk to these dudes without sounding like condescending or like I know everything. You feel me? Because you never want to get in that position. Because I don't know everything. You feel me?
Right. That's
and I don't want to interject myself or whatever y'all got going on. I don't know what your thought process is. You feel me? But there's a better way.
Right.
That point blank, son.
And a lot of times a better way is just actually planning shit out. Like, I swear a lot of this is just, it's all short-sighted. You want to see immediate results. It's not something where they're trying to put in the work and the time and like actually plan it out and work through it. So I don't know. A good conversation though. It's always fun to talk about buying streams and who's buying them and whatnot. So that's all we got for topics and stuff to cover. We got one track I'm gonna play. I've been, for literally this entire episode, been trying to load the other 2 tracks into this program, and it is refusing to cooperate. So fortunately I got Corey Loveless's track, Trauma, loaded up. We're going to play, I believe, like the first, I'm going to play a minute, because I don't know if he said a minute and a half or 45 seconds, so a minute seems safe.
Play a minute.
Minute seems safe.
Play a minute and a half. Play that 90 seconds.
Alright, so I'm going to play this. I believe I want to say this has been produced by Jake, or Jake had something to do with this. I think that's what Corey told me, so.
This produced by me? Whoa.
You had something to do with it, bro.
Yeah, it definitely is. If this is the one that I'm thinking of, this is gas, bro.
Alright, so we're going to get a good minute or so of this one in and see what Corey's working on.
Yeah. Just gonna talk to you guys real quick about life and shit. Yeah. Young kid in Dannemora, right off Cook Street. Used to walk to Stewart's and cop myself some cookies. On that same road, I got jumped from my shoes. I never told Mom, cause she'd probably make us move. And at that time, we had moved too consistent. No friends, so my cousin picked me up in his Civic. Subs in the back, bringing attention from pedestrians. Still awkward Corey when the bass hit, I wasn't him. Single bed, my legs hanging off. Pops used to ring, I never answered the call. Consistent opposition, no parental supervision. I would walk to the courts, never played in a position. I would sit, watch the games, think about life. Knew some older kids who bring me drinks in the night. I'm awake, crack a bottle, wallow in my sorrow. When the Henny hit my stomach, I was better till tomorrow. Hard days make it harder just to sleep at night. Stomach pains from the stress, I'm hungry but not eating right. Lights from the prison got me thinking how I'm leading life. Stressed and depressed, just waking up has to be a fight. We all have our own trauma.
So that's a preview of some unreleased Corey Loveless. Had to cut it off somewhere. That was definitely a little more than a minute, but that was fucking. I love that we get to be here a year later, and we started talking about how Corey's grown, and still within that year, it's more growth. Like, you know what I mean? So. And it's not bullshit. Like, it's not just us saying that to say it. Like, that's also a great part of it.
Yeah,
Jake, you did produce that one, Jake?
Yeah, I produced that record. I didn't engineer it. Ryan engineered it, but I produced it. Bro, he went off. Like, ridiculous. I don't know.
I absolutely love that record. I'm excited to hear when it comes out, for sure. And if that's a finished version of the track, you feel me? I feel like it has some of that gritty. The sonics were on purpose, but I still think it could be a little bit more refined. You feel me? But when you go to the content, Corey's flow, that's one of the crispest his flow has ever been. Like no question. And his last project was phenomenal. We all think it's the best work that he's put out officially, but there are very few tracks on there that I would say sounded as effortless as this one did, while being as personable to him. I could tell that this is a special track. That was dope.
Yeah,
he's been holding out.
Yeah, he sent me that a little while ago. Like, I've been waiting to see what he's gonna like continue with. He's shown me some other beats that he's working on. He's definitely got a really cool vibe and like kind of style that he's going with these newer tracks that he's been working on. I think he's gonna like we said, continue to show this growth that he's always showing, because it's just he works. He just keeps working. He keeps refining his craft. He's the type of guy who'll record a song, a week later he'll be like, I need to re-record it, and then a week later he'll be like, I need to re-record it again to get it perfect. That's just what Corey's like.
It's a great mentality to have, and you see it with quite a few, probably all of those artists within the Dim 136 group. I wonder which one of those ones really pushes it, or if they all kind of have their own mentality to keep trying to grow and not really becoming stagnant in what they've put out so far and being like, this is good enough. Like, recognizing, yes, there's more growth that can come. Even Corey, from the last, like, the reviews he got from his last project were really, really great, but still working to build on that and knowing that there can still be growth and accepting any critique he gets and working on those type of things. You hear it in the music as it comes out and is released. So
Thanks.
Yeah, and I feel like even just hearing him from like the first time I heard him, like a year ago or whenever it was, he has gone so far, man, in such a short period of time. And I'm like, oh man, this kid's ceiling's probably like way up there. You know what I mean? Because he's just constantly getting better and better and better with each track. It's just crazy.
And if dudes didn't see him when he was first starting to where now, it's hard to even know where his ceiling is, because he's constantly getting better. You don't know where he's gonna go, but if you see where Corey's starting point to where he is now, it's literally the trajectory is unbelievable. And personally, I think he thrives over production like this. I think it's where he feels the most comfortable. It's where I personally like hearing him most as well. And he's always going to have some content. He's always going to talk about his life and life in general in a unique perspective. And so I'm always interested to see what he has to say.
Yeah, this has me excited because, like, I'm not anticipating music from him because it hasn't been too long since he released. I know it's been a little while now, but now I'm real excited to see what he's got, what he's working on. So this has me hyped.
6 months is a long time.
Has it been 6 months? I didn't realize it's been that long.
October. It's April now.
Time flies, bro. I'm busy, man.
Man, whoa. He dropped in October, right?
You're the fact checker, bro. You better be right.
I'm no fact checker. Yeah, I think it was October. Unless that was Candace.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm checking right now, but that don't mean we got to.
Nah, yeah, you're right. So, but no, that was a.
Oh no! He dropped in December.
See, look at you.
Candace dropped in October.
Yeah, December.
Get out of here with that. But no, I'm still excited to see what he's got coming for sure. So.
He sent me me, him, and Ryan are working on a track right now. He sent me some for lack of a better word, some politically charged shit, and we're finna snap on some conscious shit. As soon as I get to the studio, I'm gonna lay that down for you.
Well, we're about wrapped up here. Jake, what are you working on before we get out of here? What do you got coming in the pipeline? What have you been working on? What's up?
Bro, I got some life-changing stuff going on. Killer comes out the 23rd of the month. I'm really, really excited about it. It's definitely my darkest track ever. Like, it's so dark, bro. But I wanted to take it to the next level. I got visuals set up. Finally, I've been waiting on visuals for like a year. I finally pulled the trigger and was like, all right, I'm doing a music video. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a high budget video. So I'm really excited, cinematic, you know, all the things that were in my vision that I wanted to come, you know, to full circle. And other than that, man, I got a big feature coming later on that I can't talk about yet, but I'm super excited about that too. But yeah, we're working over here. You know what I'm saying?
Happy to hear it, bro. I'm excited to see that video and hear that new track for sure. Especially you talking about how it's your darkest type of track yet. That's what I see in those comments. That's what they like. They're like, oh, this is I'm scared.
You ain't lying.
That's I like it, bro. That's what's up.
Yep.
It's definitely gas. I'm excited to see what a Jake Daniels music video looks like, especially a high budget one. I'm definitely. That's gonna. What do you have any idea on the timeline for that?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I would say it's gonna probably be about 2 months production time, but which is long. But it has to be that way just because I can't give all the stuff away, but it's gonna be a full blown, like, bro, it's gonna be like a movie.
That's dope.
So it's like taking my time, you know.
No, for sure.
Of course, you can't rush shit like that. Sheridan, what you got?
Yeah, you've been taking your time every week. You can't tell us shit. How about this week?
Maybe next week.
See?
I got stuff.
I swear he said last week he was like, "Oh, I promise next week."
I was like either next week or the week after. I'm gonna have an announcement, and unfortunately for y'all, it's gonna be the week after. So yeah, I got some stuff though. I've been really like locked in this last week, trying to finalize the details on everything.
Rollerblading and shit, right?
Yeah. You know, that's all part of it. You'll understand. You'll understand. That's all part of it. But
my son makes rollerblading music.
But get ready. I'm gonna have some stuff to announce. I'm gonna have some things for y'all to see.
I'm gonna spoil like it. That. He's working on a country album. He talked about it on Snapchat the other day. He's gonna be the first ever skating country singer. He's gonna call himself George Skate.
George Skate, get out of here.
I got you, bro.
All right. With that, what do you do? What you got going, Anthony?
Man, I'm gonna be as far away as that country album that I possibly can. That's what I got going on. I'm just avoiding that at all costs. Midas Touch on all streaming platforms. You feel me? That's the last joint that I dropped. I got a new video back from Zakai last night that I'm really excited about. Never necessarily shot something like this. I got a lot of visuals. I just got probably 4 or 5 cover arts back for some joints. It's been a crazy past couple weeks, and so I've been pretty removed from social media besides promoting a lot of smoke with MBK, Richie, and Blicker, which is out right now. I think that anybody that's tuning in, all 7 of y'all, should check that out before the day's over. Tell me when the last time a posse cut like that came out.
Right.
But I got a lot of music coming out very shortly. I don't have a release date for anything because I'm still trying to figure out which one of these joints I want to let off first. But I'm about to flood some shit. Working on the St. Cannon 2 cover right now because the project is finished. And that'll come out early summer. Besides that, about to be in Vegas next week, shooting a video with Blicker and Noxie. Out with Zakai. About to be at Caesar's Palace, fucking it up. So I'm really excited for that. Just got booked for my first vaccination. If y'all into that shit.
If y'all into that shit.
Y'all into
it. So it seems like I'm excited. Make sure to check out Midas Touch or A Lot of Smoke if you get the chance.
Happy to hear everybody's got some good stuff going on. Next week, the Cypher, if there might potentially be like a 30-minute, 45-minute show where we just play some music because I got an appointment next week at 11, well, in South Dakota time, 1 o'clock New York time. So we might do a short episode. That all depends on how everybody's schedule is looking. If not, we'll definitely be back in 2 weeks at noon at the regular scheduled time. And hoping to have some guests. So we got Jake on this week. We got Richie on last week. If you're interested in jumping on, hit me up. We're down to get some more people on here, promote what you got coming out, or just chop it up with us about what we've got going on. So.
Or my man Best was in the comments earlier. He runs his own platform. Best Point of View TV in Rochester. And I would love to get him up here sometime.
That would be dope for sure. And it don't just got to be artists. If you got a platform or whatever, come up and just chop it up. Get some people talking, get your opinion on some stuff. Maybe we'll have some legitimate arguments, actually, instead of just arguing with Sheridan all the time about Taylor Swift and Tekashi 6ix9ine. But that wraps everything up for this week. Appreciate everybody tuning in with us. And, yeah, so we're going to play a little bit, A Lot of Smoke, and then get out of here. So.
Luckily, I got the first verse on that joint.
Yeah, there we go.
Do you have more respect for lyricists or rappers or both?
Depends on, the artist. Like, you got some rappers that, just make dope songs. You know what I mean? And then, of course, you got lyricists that make us, rewind the song or
my hands dirty, they gon' shoot. Your bitch a fan and she root for me. Can it? Off top, I'm a pioneer. Niggas got excuses for everything. I ain't tryna hear it. Dripped in designer gear. Walk through your bitch crib. Drunk with the robe on. Fuck her on the flight of stairs. I invest like Nip with the crypto or Jay with the title shares. I don't think this fight is fair. Trapped on the block, got shot.